Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure that notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now for today's video, we have video number 5 out of 5. This is the last review we're going to be doing on the new Revolution and Friends series. If you haven't been watching them, they have been all of my previous 4 videos. I did a haul right at the start, then I did We Were on a Break, then I'll Be There For You, Chandler, Ross, and now today we are doing the Joey palette, and we're also going to be reviewing the few extra bits that I bought as well that I haven't had a chance to look over yet, so let's get into it. So the first product we're going to be going over in this video is the sponge set. Now this was £8 and you get 2 sponges inside. I will insert the clip now because I did film myself putting my foundation, concealer and cream blush on, but you get 2 blending sponges in here. You get a purple one, which is the one that I used, and you get a pink one. So these sponges have quite a big difference in size when you wet them. I do show you in the clips. It's quite small when you start. It feels quite dense, but when you wet them, it grows probably double in size and it feels super soft. And I'm not gonna lie, usually I'm a bit skeptical about drugstore brands doing sponges, but this one seemed to perform really well. It blended my foundation in really well. It doesn't seem to soak up so much product that you're left with little to no product. Again, worked really well to blend out my concealer and cream blush. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm very happy with the sponges. I think £8 for 2 is a really good deal. They're £4 each, which I think is very affordable for a drugstore sponge. So I'm gonna give these a massive thumbs up and I highly recommend them. So we're starting off with a bang, and now we can move on to the next product. And I could not have bought everything without buying this. Like, how iconic is this? So this is just called the Revolution and Friends Joey lipstick. It's to do with that advert that Joey does in one of the episodes where he does the lipstick for men. And it's just so iconic. Like, I can't believe they've actually come out of this. They call it a lipstick. On the packaging it says a lip balm. I can't imagine this actually being a blue lipstick, but let's see what it says. So it says, channel your inner model with this nourishing light blue lip balm. Apply a light layer and blend out to be a nourishing clear balm, or apply 2 to 3 layers for the ultimate Joey look. This costs £6, which is about the same as the other kind of lip products in this packaging, so that doesn't surprise me. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's in the exact same design as the female character lipsticks, except this is like a blue chrome and it has the blue lips on top and it says lipstick for men. So this is what it looks like. It is just a light blue colour, but to be honest, I can't see it actually being like a light blue lipstick. My lips are actually very dry at the moment, so I do need a good lip balm. Okay, so I was fully expecting this to be like a clear balm. It's not. If I just come up close, can you see that it has the pink, that is not pink, that's blue. The blue reflect to it, and as you layer it, it gets more and more pigmented. It looks like you're freezing cold, which is so funny. But the actual formula of it itself feels very nourishing and hydrating. You can't feel the shimmer particles in it whatsoever. I am actually just going to leave this on until later on when I put actual lipstick on. But it feels really comfortable. I don't know if I'd wear this out, because obviously it makes your lips look really pale because of the blue shimmer in it. But I mean, pretty gimmicky. It's for the whole Friends thing, so I totally understand why they've done it. So in terms of actual lip balm formula, really good, really moisturising. Because of the way it looks, I just can't see myself wearing that outside of the house, but it's cute. It was a good, fun product. Next, we're going to move on to the last spray that we are testing in these videos, and that is the PHOEBE spray. This is the brightening fixing spray with hyaluronic and vitamin C. Again, I do just want to repeat myself, these are marketed as mini setting spray, so that's why they are really small, and these cost £6 each. So the Phoebe one is in the same packaging as her palette, and this one apparently has a citrus scent, and I love citrus scents. So let's spritz this on. Oh. Okay, so this is the spray on. I feel like I look a little bit more glowy, or did I look like that before and I'm just like making this up in my head? I feel like my forehead looks a little bit glowy. I don't know. Whether it's the setting spray or not, I feel like my skin looks really nice and smooth and glowy. So if that was the actual spray doing that, then I think that'll have to be my favourite one so far, because I haven't noticed any massive differences. Whereas now I feel like my skin looks a little bit more glowy. I don't know. You're going to have to let me know down below. Okay, we are finally moving on to the eyeshadow palette part of this video. And obviously we are testing the Joey palette. This is what the packaging looks like. It just has a photo of his like living area in his apartment, and I love the little green pastel moment. Let's have a look at this colour story. So obviously exactly the same packaging as before, and this is what the Joey palette looks like. So obviously the Chandler palette was quite pastel, quite light. The Ross palette was very neutral, and this one I just feel like is a bold, fun palette. Definitely the most bright out of all of them. Definitely more fun and bold colours. And I can't wait to see what look I create today, because honestly I've got no idea yet. So let's firstly move on to the swatches. Okay, so this is the Joey palette swatched. The shimmers in this palette feel a little bit hard. They look very reflective and pigmented like now, but to actually get them to that point they did feel quite hardly pressed, so we'll have to see how that plays out on the eyes. I love the colour story. I actually feel like it plays out really well. I think I'm going to do some sort of sunset eye today and have a little play around, but let's get started. Can you see how attractive this lip balm looks on me now? No. Okay, anyway, right. I, for some reason, couldn't locate my Revolution Ultimate Eye Base. No idea where that's gone. It seems to have grown legs and run off somewhere. So we're going to be using my ABH one today. Okay, so I've just put my eye base on, and now we're going to go in with the first shade. So I think I'm going to take Mary Angela, and I'm going to start by putting that in my crease. Okay, so I've just put that in my crease, very nicely pigmented. It's a red, but it's got like a very pinky undertone to it. So now I'm going to take the orange in the palette, which is called Trifle, and I'm just going to place this just above where I put that red shade. I don't want to blend it up too high because we do have the yellow to put there as well. Okay, so I've just placed that orange down. I'm not blending it in or anything yet because I've obviously got to put the yellow on next. So I'm taking the shade Turkey, which is this one here. And these shades again are quite dusty, but they seem to be really pigmented so far. And I'm just blending that at the very, very top, just above the orange. Okay, so now I've placed these colours down. I now need to go back through them all and blend them out. I also want to add the red, the Mary Angela shade on the inner and outer corners, just so we have a nice pink shimmer in the middle of our lid. These are what our lids are looking like. I'm obsessed with the shades together. They look absolutely stunning and they blended together so effortlessly. Like, I'm really, really impressed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the pink shimmers. I'm going to have to take Dr. Drake, which is this pink one here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you know, roughly put it all in the middle of my lid. I'm not going to be super precise with it. This looks going to be a little bit more relaxed. Yeah, no. Okay, these are probably not going to work with a brush, so I'm going to use my finger instead. I could tell even from when I swatched them earlier that they were going to be a little bit hardly pressed. The brush hardly picked any of it up, but with my finger I managed to put this on, and it is a stunning shade. They are slightly more like chunky shimmers, so you might have a little bit of fallout underneath, so something to be a bit wary of, but it is a stunning shade. I think it goes really well with these matte shades. So let's move on to the lower lash line. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to take the green in here, which is called Tribbiani. The only other matte in here is this peach shade, and I'm probably not going to get around to using that, so I'd rather use the green. Okay, so I've put a little bit of green on the lower lash line, nothing too fancy. It's not obviously a really pigmented green because it is quite light, but it does look really pretty with these colours. So now I'm going to add an inner corner and brow bone highlight, and obviously I'm going to take this gold here, which is called Nap Partner. Okay, so it was a little hardly pressed, but nevertheless I still managed to get it to look really nice and blinding. So this is my completed eye look with the Joey palette. I'm going to now hop off camera. I'm going to put some lashes, mascara, some lipstick on, and then I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Okay guys, so I'm back and this is my completed look. So for my lashes, no surprise here, I have my Roxy ones on. They're just so freaking good, guys. I cannot stop putting them on my eyeballs. They are amazing. For my mascara, I used my Essence Lash Princess as always, or it seems to be as always at the moment. And then my lips is a combination. I do have the Essence Stay 8 Hour Matte Liquid Lipstick on in the shade O2 Duck Face, and then I have the Joey gloss on top. I'm so gutted I didn't use the Chandler one in the Chandler video, like I should have done that, but I did make sure to use the Ross one yesterday, and I've used the Joey one today, and this is my completed look. Please let me know down below what you think of it. Now let's finally sit down and talk about the eyeshadow palette. So obviously I'm repeating myself again, but I do really love the packaging. I love the cardboard. I love the fact that there's a mirror in here. £8 I really don't think is that expensive for a little palette like this with a mirror and 9 shades in. The actual colour story itself is freaking beautiful. I feel like this shade here is slightly wasted in here. I don't know when I'd ever use a shade like that, especially with this colour story. I love that they've got 4 shimmers in here, and one of them is like a light enough shade for my inner corner and brow bone. I feel like you could take this palette either way. You can do like a similar look to what I did, or you can swap out the red for the green and go for like a green, orange, yellow look. So you can definitely create a few looks with this palette. So I do really like the colour story. I think it's super fun, it's super bold, bright, and just really intriguing. Like I look at this palette and think I'm so excited to play with it. So I do love this colour story. I do probably think it's my favourite one out of the boy characters, I'm not gonna lie, like the favourite colour story out of them. The Chandler one was really nice as well, but I feel like this one for me, in terms of how easy I could come up with a look and stuff, I feel like this one would be my favourite. The formula of this palette is not the best, but also not the worst. Like the mattes in here are super pigmented, really easy to blend in with each other. Like I just feel like I have a really soft gradient from red to yellow. Like I just think they blended beautifully. The shimmers in here are quite hardly pressed, especially compared to the other shimmers in the like Ross and Chandler palette. I just feel like these ones especially are just really pressed down in there, and using a brush completely useless. It just wouldn't work whatsoever, so I had to go in with my finger. There was a little bit of fallout as well, but that's honestly the only negative things I can say about this palette. Based off of my play today, I'm gonna recommend it just because I feel like I created a really beautiful look with it, and I really like the look that I created, so I think I am gonna recommend it. Obviously the shimmers are where it marks it down, but then again, I wouldn't not recommend it just based off of the fact that the shimmers were hardly pressed. Like just use your finger and they're really pigmented. And I mean the gold on my inner corner and brow bone, I used a brush and it was perfectly fine. So it might just be this one, but when I was swatching them, the shimmers did feel a little bit more hardly pressed, you know. So yeah, I'm going to recommend it based off my play today. I really like this palette. I'm going to say it's my favourite out of all 3 of the boy character palettes. And yeah, let me know what you think of it down below. Okay guys, so that is the last of the series 3 reviews. I am super happy with series 3. I feel like I'm gonna back myself up and what I said at the very beginning of this, that I think this is the best collection they've done in the Friends series. I really enjoyed the first drop, but the palettes were quite neutral. I enjoyed the second drop, but the palettes were massive and really expensive. This collection, there's a lot more variety in terms of, there's a couple of Forever Flawless palettes than the character palettes, but the character palettes are not all neutral like the female character palettes. So I just feel like they had a little bit more fun with it. They've put a lot of colour into it. They've also brought out different palettes. The sprays have come into it, the lip balm, the sponges. Like, I just feel like they had way more fun with this drop, and it is my favourite out of all 3. I'd love to know your opinions. Like, what was your favourite drop of the Friends collection? 1, 2 or 3? Let me know down below. So that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
No.